Since we're on macOS, I'm going to go ahead and click macOS. Click Create a launch.json file. We'll need this file in order to configure our visual debugger. If prompted to select a debugger, choose LLDB. We weren't prompted, so we're fine. And then if prompted to select the configuration, hit the escape key. Okay. If neither of these prompts appear, this part isn't relevant since the prompts appeared, but if they were, we would click the blue Add Configuration button and choose code LLDB:launch. This will automatically generate a launch.json file with one configuration for us. Now there's a couple fields here we have to consider. The program field is a string that tells the debugger what file it's going to run. In other words, the program field specifies the path to the debug executable. The program field should always specify the path to the debug executable. The debug executable will always end in _debug. Only the debug executable includes debug information such as breakpoints. Change the part of the program field executable file to whatever debug executable you're running. In this case, you'll want to change the program field to workspace folder tutorial debug. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Tutorial debug. Looks good to me, matches this image. And the arg field handles command line flags. This tutorial doesn't use the args field, but as an example, if you wanted to run a program with these command line options, you would separate each word into the array, and there should be no spaces in any element of the array. So wherever there's a space, we just split it into a separate string, like such. But again, we're not using it for this tutorial. The std.io field handles input and output redirection. It's also an array with the first element corresponding to the input file, the second element being the output file, and the third element being the error file. For the purposes of this guide, we'll leave the output and error file as null, which will tell the debugger not to redirect them. For the purposes of this guide, we'll leave the output and error elements as null, which will tell the debugger not to redirect them. We want to use unique-3.txt as our input file, so we set the field to the following. I chose to add it just below the CWD field. Make sure to put a comma after the end of the CWD field like in the screenshot. Basically, the last line doesn't have a comma, but the rest of them do to separate each other. Just like an array, sort of. For this, since CWD is no longer the last line, we're going to add a comma. Then basically we can copy the screenshot here. So std.io and then unique-3.txt, make this an array. Okay, and then we'll put null for the output and error elements. Finally, the env field handles environment variables. We don't need to know what these are for this class, but we do need to set one in order to avoid conflicts between the multiple debugging tools that we provide. Let's add this after CWD as well, and we'll put a comma after its closing bracket. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy this with this clipboard button. After CWD, click paste, and then add a comma after the closing bracket. Next, I'm just going to save this. So again, I'm going to save with the file. You should use your keyboard. And this will actually format our file automatically, a benefit of the configuration we set up. And once completed, it should look something like the picture below. And it's okay if the formatting differs, but our formatting is exactly the same. If you want to make another debugging configuration, maybe for switching between debugging two different input files, you can click the blue Add Configuration button in the bottom right of your screen, and then select code LLDB launch and modify the fields as you did with the first configuration. With more than one configuration in your launch.json file, make sure you change the name field in each configuration so that you can differentiate between them. And here you can click to continue to the next part of the configuration process. Otherwise, we'd have to scroll through this Linux-based guide, and we don't want to do that. So I'm going to click this, and then end the video here. The rest of this is the same for macOS and Linux, and I'll see you there.